So let's get this going here then, shan't we? We have a lot of stuff to show off here. Don't mind the puppet to the side. Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. They're an illusion. They don't actually exist. As we all know, the real world is anime characters, right? Yeah. Anyway, so as you can probably see here, there is a lot stuff I've gone over the last few months. A good chunk of it is because of Limited One. There was a lot of Limited One stuff that came in. Yes. Okay, goody-o. That's all goody-o. But yeah, for anyone who orders from Limited One these days, it's almost like a year plus pre-order, basically. So, like, a lot of the stuff from Limited One is shit from last year that I had paid for. Like, my April Fool's order of last year is actually in this. And a lot of my Limited One shit's been big orders to save on shipping, because honestly, like, the shipping is like, you would think if you bought like $200 some worth, you'd get a deal on shipping or something, but that's not how it works with them. So anyway, let's get through some of this stuff. So I do have this stack here is stuff I haven't took photos of to put on Twitter yet, so I do want to keep those separated. Everything else I've either always shown off on Twitter or haven't yet, which those two that I haven't, but let's get to it then, shall we? So, first, we got Undermine. This was a Limited One release. This was actually in the last trailer. It looked really good. I believe it was a Rogue-style game. I liked the graphical look, so I'm actually surprised that that came pretty sooner than later. And, oh, here's always some of the April Fool's stuff. The Mayonnaise, the Green Lava Studios Volume 2. I really don't know why I bought this. It is a bunch of weird haha games that Demon Turf. This was a really weird game in release. This got a retail release on the Xbox One for some reason, but not on everything else. Limited One did a PS5 and a Switch version. This is a really bizarre 2D, 3D platform style game. Very odd. I'm kind of sad they didn't go with a PS4 version. When Limited One started doing PS5 stuff that had PS4 versions, I think they were testing the market on whether people were going to be abandoning the PS4 versions of stuff. So, like, I noticed with a lot of their first releases, they kind of just avoided PS4 versions, but lately now they're doing PS4 and 5, which I'm glad they're doing that, because honestly, I like the option. I don't have a PS5 yet. I still don't have one. Nothing's really encouraged me to get one. There hasn't been any. I mean, one day I will get one eventually, but nothing's just been a die-hard need to get one yet, so. Phantom Breaker, which I believe this is a sequel or either a port to a fighting game that was on the Vita, I think? I believe there was a Phantom Breaker on the Vita that Limited One did. I'm not sure if that's the same game or not. And of course you have Postal Redux, that was also Limited One. So, Postal for a youngins, man, that cover was dark. You can hardly see anything on now. But anyone who doesn't know what the hell Postal is, it was a really old PC game that got a lot of controversy because it was so fucking violent. I don't know if this has been toned down. Assuming they didn't really update the graphics any, probably not, because considering the day and age that this came out, like, the violence in here is probably, like, trying to compare, like, I don't know, maybe, like, more combat or something, the modern violent stuff. This was the other thing Limited Ones released for April Fools. I've never heard of this. This is some kind of real-time video. Those kind of old Sega CD style games, which this wouldn't surprise me if it was a Sega CD game. I have no idea why this got fucking ported onto PS4 if that's the case. I don't know anything about it. I'm a dumbass who bought it. I'm probably not gonna buy whatever they have this year for April Fools, honestly, unless they're really interesting. Because honestly, like I said, look how many, like a good 50% of this is limited one stuff, and I can't, like, I'm a person who's devoted to games. I can't even keep up with this shit. It's pretty crazy. Of course, we have another port of a mobile RPG. 5 millionth one from them. This one doesn't look too bad graphically on the back, to be fair, though. They're looking like better games, so... Few of them have interesting concepts. This one I'm not really familiar with at all. This was also a limited one release, if I remember correctly. Yeah, this was number 450. For a second, I thought that was... the font for the number was kind of off. But ye Cyberpunk 1 Go Army. Wonderful world waiting surprises. Explore, discover, return, exploring diverse locations. Craft, upgrade, customize. So it looks like it has a lot of different gameplay elements in it. Oh. And of course, another JRPG mobile game that got ported by Kimiko. I swear, how many games does this fucking company have? How many JRPG mobile games do they freaking make? I own so many of them for limited one now. It's kind of crazy. Then Fall Gun. Now, this was an interesting indie game. My friend Patico had it on Switch, and he said it had some frame problems on the Switch, so... But it has a very old PS1 aesthetic to it, which is really nice in my opinion. I kind of get a little bit of Mega Man Legends vibe. That's always a good thing. I mean, can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with that at all. Dawn of the Monsters? I believe this was a fighting game, wasn't it? It was some kind of... Yeah, it's some kind of like weird, like Godzilla fighting game thing of that. Oh, yeah, I didn't notice that. Way Forward made it. Or at least they were involved in it. I wasn't even aware of that. Some other game company called 13 AM Games. That's a pretty strange title, though. Oh, now this one's sadly one of those titles that I'm looking forward to trying. That's probably going to take forever for me to get to. This is one of those newer Metroidvanias. This one I heard a lot of good stuff about. It has a really nice aesthetic to it. Definitely looking forward to that one. Sad thing, like I said though, is when the hell will I ever get around to it? That's always the problem. That's it. I'm actually thinking of, because, you know, I've been liking how the Monday 1 hour stream things have helped get through a few titles. I've been thinking about maybe doing a 1 hour Sunday stream too, is something I've been thinking about to help a little bit more on. Now this is another one I'm excited for. So this was actually a Square Enix title. So this is a murder mystery game, and it's supposed to be several people from other titles of this kind of aesthetic. I think people from that one... what was it? That one where you bounced between all the people, where the area was gonna get like hit by terrorists and shit, and it was just like one crazy convoluted title. I believe several of the people from that are involved in this. So, but this is supposed to have a very similar concept, I believe, to it, where you're like trying to figure out these murder mysteries of that. I heard pretty good and interesting things about it. Of course, the newest entry of NIS's little 2D anime survival horror thing. I haven't played the second one yet, so that's something that could possibly be for this Halloween. But that's the newest entry of that. I did get Octopath Traveler 2. I pre-ordered that. Octopath Traveler 1 was really good. Got a lot of good reviews, and I did want to get this really nice steelbook edition with it, so that's another one I need to get around to. And another NIS game I had pre-order with PlayAsia that it got several price cuts in America, so sadly I got pretty gouged on this in the end. But this is a really weird game. Imagine Danganronpa, but it has shmup gameplay. Yeah, this is like some weird mortal mystery game with shmup gameplay. I don't know how the hell that works, but that's definitely a very different take of a game there. I can't say a whole lot on that. Then the sequel to NIS's previous game, I really thought we weren't going to get this, because it had been out in Japan for like I think 2 or 3 years when it came out in Japan. And if you're not familiar with the previous entry of this, basically you make a bunch of puppet units and send them into a labyrinth. It's pretty good from what I hear. Dennis was actually live streaming it a little bit yesterday. We actually waited him at the end of the stream yesterday, so. But definitely looking forward. Who knows when I'll ever get to it, because I still want to play the first one. When can I retire early? Somebody help me retire early, please. We got a strictly limited release here. The Anniversary Wonder Boy Collection here. This is a very interesting release, because this basically has almost like every version of all these Wonder Boy games up to, it's up to which one now? You got Wonder Boy 1, the Dragon Trap, which I think was 3, Monster Island, Monster World, Wonder Boy Monsters Lair. Yeah, so you got 6 different games with all kinds of different versions: Game Gear, Genesis, Master System, Arcade. Very, very interesting release. It gives you a huge variety of basically the history of the series in multiple forms. This is a very interesting release. If they won decently and everything, this could be an interesting standard to do with certain things like that. And there we go. We got actually through 1 stack. Holy crap. And of course, there's a lot of PS4. There is a stack of Switch here in the back, though, for those who are on the Nintendo side. Now, we do have a bunch of random little goodies here that came with some of these releases. A pin, some cards, stickers. Not anything too crazy with them. And Vsoft always has these like little stickers, so little cards and that, so nothing too amazing to really show off though. So we'll show off a little variety of some side stuff here. So I did pick up a actual Vita game, and now I do actually have this, but I got for trading in my packing material, so I thought I got this and these PSP games from my last trade-in of my packing material. So, and I did own 2 of these, but I got them because I thought maybe I could use them as trade bait or something. So, a Vita game doesn't have its original case, but hey, you know, it's the Vita game. You don't. Vita games are pretty rare out in the wild these days, at least in America. So, take what you can get if you want those. So, what I did get, so this I do own. But I think a Japanese RPG for a bunch of boxes and packing material, especially with a lot of prices going up, I think that was a pretty good deal on that. What I didn't know, what I never saw before, I didn't know there was a Ghost in the Shell game on the PSP. That I didn't know. I have the PS2 and I have the PS1 Ghost in the Shell games, but I did not know there was a PSP game, so I got that for trade with all that. And I got Untold Legends, The Warrior's Code, pretty much a throwaway. It looks like the kind of hack and slash gauntlet kind of thing. It was a Sony game, probably a launch or early PSP game of that. Nothing really like, honestly, he does charge a lot of money for stuff though. 25? Is this even worth that? I don't know. It's worth packing material to me though. So, I go for that. Then, let's see, there was the Swordsman Collector's Edition. This was a limited 1 release. It's a PlayStation VR game. It looked pretty good. Sadly, the back is so dark you can't make it out on the camera, sadly. But this is supposed to be like a first-person sword dueling kind of game of that, so hopefully that might be interesting to try. It's been a while since I pulled out my PlayStation VR. I mean, the last thing I really did on that was pretty much, I think it was like either RE7 or that Star Wars game. I'm not 100% sure which of the two. And here is a game that I probably will never ever be able to stream. It is a Leisure Suit. I'm not even sure if I should show it. Like, it's Leisure Suit Larry on the original Xbox. It didn't have any of its original case, but it was only $2.99, so I was just kind of like, yeah, why not? Maybe it'd be something for a funny video or something. I always heard it's a pretty awful game. But I'm pretty sure that's probably a ban. Like, I'm not really sure. Like, Twitch is so weird about what stuff is banned and not banned. Like, because they went from banning whatever they basically wanted to ban to using the ESRB. So, like, I honestly don't know what the fuck they're doing anymore with, like, but yet they still have a banned game list, even though now they say follow the ESRB. Like, there's one game on the Vita they banned that is rated M, so it's like, what set of rules do we listen to exactly here? But anyway, moving on. A nice grab for me was Donkey Konga 2. I did not have Konga 2. I did have Donkey Konga 1. It was $20. That's pretty good for a game, a first-party Nintendo game on the GameCube. I would have imagined it being like $50-some. I mean, I'm kind of shocked it was that much. I mean, a lot of the prices, I know some of the prices have been going down ever since they went up during the beginning of COVID. But, I mean, still, there's been a lot of expensive prices, you know. A lot. You know, I want to get my bottle of water here real quick, if you don't mind. We're going to be yabbling a lot here. Moving on. Let's go. Let's see, some Vsoft releases within the Blades. I believe this was like a 2D. Yeah, it's kind of like supposed to be like one of those like ninja games that were on the Genesis of that. Then Crisis Wing, which is supposed to be a shmup title. Not familiar with that one. I'm assuming that's more of a newer one, not a ported one. Then this was also a shmup, I believe. Yes, this is a shmup as well. This is an interesting game because the Vsoft also released this on the DS, making it one of the last DS games to get released physically. Very interesting. This was limited one distribution stuff. This kind of reminds me of that one PS1 game where you like in first person like a robot rabbit. Like, I can't remember what it was called. It was a really early launch PS1 game. It had really wonky controls. A new Gunvolt game. And an updated version of the Astro Aqua Kitty, which was something that got released on the Vita. This is supposed to have like new content. I'm getting kind of sick of the whole new version with new content thing. Like, there's been a lot of limited one stuff that's been running into that lately. It's very, very annoying, but what can you do? It happens. Let's see. That's a Wet Art release. That's a shmup title. Not familiar with it, sadly. Probably a more forgettable title. Now, this was a PlayAsia pickup, I believe. It is a tactics game. I believe it's only available in Europe, physically at least. But yeah, it's some kind of tactics game I got for cheap on PlayAsia, so I was like, sure, why not? This is supposed to be a bit of a puzzle game, I believe. It's like no, this one was a platformer. It's a platformer game. It was on sale on, I believe it was for the Black Friday releases, I believe. Well, did I already get all those? I can't remember. Now, this one, I believe, was a bit of a Mega Man kind of game, I think. This was another Wet Arts title. This one was one that got hyped up a little bit. It kind of has a Mega Man vibe to it. Now this is supposed to be interesting. So I played this really bizarre, like top-down kind of how to put it. I'm not sure of a game off the top of my head to compare it to, but it was like a really violent, gruesome, and disgusting game I played, and I did a review on it. It actually got a lot of hits, probably because a lot of people didn't cover it. This actually takes place in the same universe as that game, and I can't remember what the hell it was called. It was something really weird. But yeah, this is supposed to be some kind of mix of a Metroidvania adventure game of that. It looks pretty good. I'm actually excited to give that one a shot. I've seen some gameplay. It looks pretty nice. See, another one I got cheap off PlayAsia, VR Space Junkies. I think I got it for like $5 off PlayAsia. See, another one I got really cheap for like $5 off PlayAsia, another PlayStation VR. Some of these are really cheap on PlayAsia right now. If you're looking to find some VR games for your PS4, I would recommend checking PlayAsia for some of them. I did get this This War of Mine, The Little Ones. I was a little confused by this release because I'm not too familiar with this game. I do know it's like a survival during war and that, and you have to go get supplies and stuff and take care of your people and things. But I wasn't sure what The Little Ones was, and my understanding, The Little Ones is like adding new options to the pre-existing game. So it's the base game with more content on top of it. So, but yeah, I wasn't sure if it was like its own story or something, but I had to get a little help on understanding that. This unpacking, it's a limited one release. I'm not sure if this is going to be interesting. It's some game where you unpack stuff and arrange them in a house. Seems like a weird game idea, but hey, you know, The Sims was laughed at when it first got made, and look at where it is now. So, you never know. Never look at a game concept in the mouth and just assume it's a failure, you know. Because that's how we got a lot of stuff like Symphony at Night becoming a cult classic, Sims going crazy. Kamari Damashi wasn't going to be expected anything. Look at what Neo ended up being. Like, stuff happens, you know. Stuff happens. Moving on. Let's see. Now, this was a limited one release, wasn't it? Yeah. This has like a retro NES kind of vibe going for it. You apparently switch between 3 different characters. Looks pretty interesting. Might be some good fun if you were into the whole Shovel Knight. I really need to get an updated version of Shovel Knight. Like, I played the base game on PC. Fun ass game. I've been wanting to do. I technically can play all the DLC stuff on my PC version because that has been updated. It was a Kickstarter DRM free version through Humble Bundle. But you know, I want to get a nice physical release, especially since if you get like the Xbox One has the Battletoads as a guest star, and the Sony one has God of War in it. But for some reason, the PS4 version never got a fucking physical release, even though it was originally planned to. It got canceled for some reason. It's really weird. Let's see, Mythic Ocean. I don't know anything about this one. This one was a limited one. It looks kind of like... looks like it's probably more of a story-based game, so... That's a sad thing getting a lot of these limited one games. I'm not familiar with like half of them. Now I am familiar with River City Ransom, man. So this is an interesting release because this is a SNES game that we never got in America, and they kind of reworked it a little. They like put anime scenes and stuff in it while using the SNES game and localizing it and stuff. So, and it uses the carbon engine thing that they did with Shantae, so that one I'm excited about. This, I think, is a shmup game. Yeah, this is a shmup game. It the characters on there give me like a Gundam vibe though, that. But yeah, this is a shmup game for limited one. Ooh, is that the Platinum logo? Ooh. I didn't know Platinum got involved in a shmup style game. That's kind of interesting. And another Gunvolt game. from the Chronicles series. And these were some pickups I got. So from another trade-in from packing materials, I got Friday the 13th physically. I don't know. It was there. Now, something I didn't have, I didn't ever get Wolfenstein Young Blood, so he had a copy of that. That was in crap condition. I picked that up, and I think, let's see, I believe, yeah. I also got Yeet. Well, he gave me, I wasn't picking this out, because, honestly, this thing looks destroyed. Claims it works, but hey, you know, it's a long JRPG, but yeah, like, I don't know if you'll be able to see the scratches. It looks awful. It's, like, destroyed, so. But he, gave me that, and I guess, why not? Other thing I got was Super Mario Brothers Wii U plus new Super Luigi U. This was really nice. I'm surprised he let me take that. And I got, wasn't there? I think there were 2 games. No? I thought there was a second one in there. Maybe not. Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. This was like an attempt to like reboot Pac-Man. It was pretty not well received, to be honest. But I was like, sure, why not? Grab that, yeah. But I mean, like, you know, I get them with my packing materials, so I can't complain too much. Can't complain. Spellforce Reforged. This was like cheap on Amazon. It's like a Western kind of Baldur's Gate style game. So cheap in, so can't complain. I did get the new Valkyrie series game of the Profile series. It kind of went down in price really fast. I got for the $39.99, so I guess it didn't do super well. I'm not 100% sure. And yeah, here's another one I picked up with trading and packing materials. Worms Forts Under Siege. The disc, I believe, looked pretty not perfect, but definitely not the kind of condition I like to pick something up and. Yeah, like, it doesn't have a lot of deep scratches. Probably not going to be able to see it. It's a blue disc one. But it does have light scratches, but it's better condition than usually the stuff I see at his store. So, I usually have to be pretty picky about the things he has. Let's see. Let's get through a little more PS4. So much PS4. Oh, Lord. And let's see. Now, this I had actually pre-ordered on Amazon, the Switch version, before I oh, wait. Limited One did that, so I had to cancel that, change it out, and I got the changed out game in my Switch stack here. But this is a weird game where it's 2D side-scrolling. I think it might be a little bit of a mix of Mega Man, Metroidvania, something kind of like that. But the main gimmick is you die in one hit, but you have the Sands of Time effect where you can reverse your death. So it's kind of an interesting little idea. Might be fun. Now, here's a wet art game I've been looking forward to. This is supposed to be like some crazy comedy, like point-and-click style game. It uses all these wet, like old painting style shit that is just ridiculous looking. It's supposed to be funny though, so that I've been actually looking forward to for some laughs. Let's see. This was another wet arts release that got some hype. I think it was supposed to be a Metroidvania style. No, I think it's a Metroid, not Metroidvania. Because it does look like the HUD makes it look more like Metroid. But either way, it's one of those kind of two, I believe. Now this, I think this was a survival horror type of piece. Yeah, I got this from that Canadian store, I believe. It's a fun stock game. It's supposed to be like some kind of weird puzzle survival horror type thing, I believe. If I remember correctly. Astro Knight. This is supposed to be, I believe, a Metroid game. If I remember correctly. It was on the cheaper end. So it's very black and white too. I think it was a 1999 release. It looked interesting. This one I got on discount. It was a Pecu. this is supposed to be like a hack and slash game. For some reason, like the PS4 version has got like massively delayed for some reason compared to the Switch version. It's supposed to be multiplayer up to 4, so online. Yeah. Then here's an interesting release. Now this came out a while ago. It's not super new, but if you're familiar with Classic Heroes, the style of the characters might ring a little bit of bells. So you've picked up the Tactics spin-off of the series, and we named it Eventual Academy. I guess probably to not associate with Classic Heroes, because let's admit, it's not exactly a household name, so probably in an attempt to not have people just immediately go, oh, it's Classic Heroes, I don't care. Now, ooh, here's an interesting one now. The Vampire Masquerade Swan Song. I actually made some money on this, and this was basically free. So this dropped to, what was it? I think it was $7.99 or $9.99 or something on Amazon. And it was trading in for like 15 or something more. I think it was like $17.99 at GameStop. So Amazon these days only lets you buy 3 copies per system of stuff. So I bought 3 copies of PS4, traded in. The other 2 kept the cases and stuff, and basically paid for itself, got some credit and stuff. And I did the same thing for the PS5 version. I got 3 versions of that, traded those all in. So I got some nice credit out of that with some spare cases. Can't complain about spare cases, so you know that all paid for itself. That's all cool, yo. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I believe this was a enhanced version of a PS3 game that became really rare, if I remember correctly. I think that was a new fighting game, one of the two. I know there was one on the PS3 that's like super expensive. So the Immortal Planet. I believe this was a Red Arts game, yeah. Kind of like gives me kind of a Shadow One vibe looking at the graphics on the back of that. I'm not really familiar with it personally. The Wine. Horror Tales The Wine. So this was I got this through that Canadian store, but Limited One Games is doing a one of this for the PS4 and the Switch, which is a bit of a shame for me, because I'm not going to rebuy it for the PS4 version. I wish I could trade it in, you know, like exchange it or something, but can't. Breaker's Collector. This was a strictly, right? Yeah. This is a strictly limited release. And these are beat 'em up games, if I remember correctly. I think it's just 2 games in it, I think. But sadly, no screenshots. A little bit of maybe a little bit of fan service in the back there. Another strictly limited, the Cannon Dancer. So my understanding, this is supposed to have been originally a arcade title ported. So I'm not really familiar with that one myself. Something I got with my $5 coupon at GameStop. Some kind of puzzle block game. Not really familiar with it myself. Then, of course, here's another Limited One release where we got everyone's little favorite Japanese idol in VR. Though I believe there's a lot of DLC for this that sadly wasn't included on it, which is a shame. But what can you do? This is a limited one. I'm not sure. Some kind of top-down game. Looks like it's multiplayer. It's 2-player local. Not really familiar with it. Ooh, now here's an interesting title that this is a Red Arts title. Very strange cover art, right? Looking at it, it looks like a Metroid or a Metroidvania style game, but it has a really awesome aesthetic. Look at that nice aesthetic to the stage. That look up some footage on YouTube of this. It's a very interesting looking title, and it was a limited pre-order they did. This was like one of the first limited pre-order. The back of it calls it a roguelite action platformer, so we'll go with that. It looked aesthetically really nice, so that one I got really fast. This was a throwaway title. Hell Breachers, it looks pretty meh. It was on sale of that. Like, I don't mind getting some of these Wet Art games if they're really cheap, but like I said, quality control and saving some money on some of them, not getting them for like max price though. But if they're like cheaper, sometimes I don't mind checking out a few interesting ones. Attack on Titans 2 Final Battle. This started becoming kind of hard to find. There was a Wii print version that that Canadian store I like getting from Video Games Plus. Very nice store. Definitely recommend it. Now this I got with my got this with my coupon at GameStop 1 month. It's Spy Hunter for the Vita. It was $9.99. As you can see, loose sadly. But again, you don't see Vita stuff too often in the wild, and I had a $5 coupon, so I was like, sure, why not? Then something actually in the more retro market in Japan, we have Ark the Lad monster game and casino game. So when I did research on the monster game that's in the Ark the Lad collection, I was confused because every time I was looking up artwork for it, it came up with the casino game too. And researching that led to me to learning that the only Ark the Lad game on video game systems we never got was this casino game, as far as I understand. It was not localized to that. I do not know if you need save data for Ark the Lad 2 to play it, but it's pretty nice. Oop. Oh, what was that? Stickles? No. Stickles. PS1 Stickles. Don't see that every day. But yeah, it's a pretty nice, actually. I really like the artwork that's on the discs. It's actually really nice. I like it. It's a bit of a shame we didn't get something similar to that. And I don't know if I ever get to say this too often, but I always love the jewel cases Japan got for their PS1 stuff. Very, very nice. So maybe I will give that a try and hope the hell you don't need Ark the Lad 2 save data, because then that's going to be a whole different problem for me. Now, here's an interesting title I got from PlayAsia on sale. It's an original DS game. It's a weird bug fighting game. If you ever played Turbo Number 1 or Engazer, Hand of God for the PS1, this is from the same people who made those. Now, if you played that or Turbo Number 2, you might be familiar with the quest modes that are in those. And that is what this is, but with bugs. And it is very, it was very strange. And as you can see, it's part of the sample series from what are they called again? 3D publisher. That's what they're trying to remember who they are. So, very interesting game to run into when I was looking up cheap DS stuff on sale on PlayAsia. Now, here's a Wet Arts game. I swore Limited One Games was going to get their hands on this. So I was so surprised Wet Arts got this, and I'm very excited to give this a shot. This is from the creator of Suikoden. Now, this is like a prequel to the Kickstarter game. So this isn't the main game that the Kickstarter was for. It's an extra game, so it'll be really nice first idea how the game will be. And it came with a soundtrack, which is a nice little bonus. But I'm very excited, very tempted to make that a next thing to be played here relatively soon. We're almost getting through all this. Holy crap! Let's get these out of the way real quick. We got No More Heroes 3. I've been meaning to get this. It was on sale, new. You know, it's whole box and shebang. I really do like the No More Heroes games. I do need to finish up more of those. So many of them now. Now this was an interesting game. Super Bullet Brick. Now this is like an RPG breakout game. It's really bizarre. I don't even know how to really get into that. And then there's apparently like some kind of card system on top of it. It's like really weird. But I like when people mash up game ideas. Sometimes you get some interesting series. So that's what I got. And here's an interesting thing, if you didn't know, IB is getting a physical release on the Switch. This is the Japanese version. It's supposed to have English on it. So, it's a nice box version. It is a RPG Maker horror game, if you're not familiar with it. It's a pretty nice little one. I don't know if it has any, like, new additions. Usually those kind of things come with, like, new stuff to kind of get people to be like, yeah, buy it, buy it. So, you might notice this little book. So, this was a nice little extra Strictly Limited did to celebrate their 5th anniversary. Basically, if you had purchased anything from them, you will basically getting one of these. So, it's very nice. It has every release up to, let me see here. Every release up to... Yeah, that one hasn't even came out yet. That's one of the newer ones. I think they've had 2 or 3 more games come after that one. But this little page, it's 167 pages. And it just has each of the releases in it. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Oh, just a second here. Getting a Discord message here. Oh, okay. Apparently they'll... Oh, they're playing Deep Walk. Okay. I was like, why is Sleepy messaging me? But, not anything crazy special. But it is still nice, and this was free. It's a hardcover. It was free. It didn't cost any money. You didn't have to... Nobody held a gun up and said, you need to pay for the shipping or something. It came from... They could have even been cheaper and say you had to buy something and get shipped with that game. But no, they just shipped it for free. I didn't like the package it was in, to be fair. The package it was in was a little beat up for me, but hey, the book got here fine, so can't really complain too much. Okay, we got about a little less than 30 minutes before the dance thing starts on VR, so I gotta get going here. Got a little standy thing that came with that, one of the Wet Art games. And we got lots of Switch stuff, so let's speed one. A little golf journey. I believe this was a limited one. Yeah. It's golf. Yeah. It's not crazy like that one game. Let's see. The Vows, the collection, which this had 1, 2, and 3. I have some of these on the Genesis. This was a Genesis series. I think a few of them also came out on Super Nintendo. Those side-scrolly hack and slash kind of things. They're pretty interesting. Let's see. Gun and Goals? Looks like it's some wacky sports game. I believe this was a limited one distribution title, I think, if I remember correctly. Then this is a Metroidvania style game, I believe. Wet Arts did. It's either Metroid or Metroidvania. 8 Doors. They recently actually did this for PS4, which I'm kind of mad about because I would have gotten that. But it's a 2D game, so I would hope it one's okay. I would hope, but hey, you know, that's never stopped some stuff from being broken on the Switch. And this was actually the title I got replaced on my one PlayAsia release. This title has a very interesting history with me. So this is like a Phoenix Wright style game as you play as animals and stuff. So if you like Phoenix Wright, this might be worth checking out. I actually backed this game when it was a Kickstarter. Yes, this was a Kickstarter game originally. And I got a refund on it. So he did the Kickstarter and said he was going to do DRM free. For some reason, and I still don't know why, he never did DRM free on this game. But he did give refunds to people who approached him about that. About never getting a DRM free version. Because it came out on Steam. So it came out. Don't know why he never kept his promise of doing a DRM free version though. Don't know. Maybe he got cold feet about it or something. I don't know. But he gave a refund, so. But then I think it was like late last year. This got announced. It was a Asian version with English on it, so pretty nice in that. And what's nice is it does have actually English on it. Sometimes these are mixed bags. Sometimes they put English on them because they see that people buy, you know, buying them for that, you know, just because they want physically that. This is a really weird game. Space Warlord Organ Trader Simulator. I have no idea what kind of game this is outside what the title is, but taking a quick look at it, it sounded really interesting, so I just bought it. That one looked very interesting to me. Alex Kidd, this is a remake of Alex Kidd in Miracle World. It's an old Master System game, if you're not familiar with Alex Kidd. I think I got it for like $9 on Switch. I wanted the PS4 version, but I kept missing out every time it was on sale. A visual novel. I can't even remember what it was called. But it's a visual novel. It's a romance visual novel. So it was on sale. I picked it up. Sometimes I like a nice visual novel once in a while. One of PlayAsia's exclusive physicals, Sea Horizons. I believe this was like a mix of a tactics RPG kind of thing of that. Like it has tactics, sea-going journey, and it looks like some RPG mechanic stuff in it. Let's see. That, I believe, was a visual novel. It's also a PlayAsia exclusive physical release. Now this one, another PlayAsia, oh my goodness. This one, oh no, TK's still here. Never mind, let's make this last. No, I'm just kidding. Have you actually been watching this whole time, TK? You're probably like, oh no, look at all the waste of money. Apparently it's because of the time zone for some reason. But yeah, they made it 3 instead of 2. I'm assuming it will go back to 2 once the EU area gets their time zone change. Which I think is sometime next month? I think? I don't know. I'm assuming that's why. I'm assuming that's why they're doing that. To be fair, I never got logistically told why they're doing that. It happened after the time zone change in America, so I just kind of assumed that's why. But anyway. So, this... Let get the stream Wados thing going here. Oh my goodness, oh dear. I was really iffy about buying this game. Let's see, we'll get that real quick. Oh no, I gotta get more tokens. Ew, more tokens. At least there's a token chest coming up. So I guess there's that. Okay. I'm surprised you stayed watching though. So this is another PlayAsia exclusive, and it's a trilogy of 3 2D survival horror games that are kind of questionable, honestly, in their quality as games. Visually, they don't look very good to me. But they are survival horror, and, well, I'm not gonna really hide. There's, like, fan service-y crap in this, too, so... It's kind of like a B-movie game, basically, you could say. I haven't played them or anything, so... Maybe the gameplay portion's more fun, but... I can tell you they're not very, good-looking games, personally. But, hey, yeah. It's a fan of everything, so... here's a game that looks batshit silly, though. Gata? Okay, I wouldn't make sure because it got swords in there. That Gata Protector's Court of Darkness. This apparently has all kinds of retro references, but it's very sprite-based now. It's a hack and slash and stuff. So, it looks very nice. This was a limited one release, and it looks very fun. This was something I got cheap on Amazon. It's some kind of card-based narrative journey game. It was like $9, so he was hoping it's not garbage. Let's see. Now this was, I think this was a limited one release of this, Godstrike. Not really familiar with it myself. It looks like it's a crazy bullet hell dodging kind of game or something. Then let's see. Some more of the April Fool's stuff here. Cat gore without salad. Look at that horrible parody of Mega Man 1. Holy crap. The NES cover for Mega Man 1, the American one. And it even references on the back. Where is it? It's hideous. Is that what it actually look like? A bad parody 80s game art? Like right there on the back. But this is supposed to be a weird mix of Mega Man and shmup gameplay. Like, it's interesting. I don't know if it's a fantastic game, but it does look interesting from what I looked at. Let's see, Wonder Boy Returns. This is a remake of the original Wonder Boy. Then you have Chaos Code, New Sign of Code. This was this was a PlayAsia exclusive. This is a fighting game. This was a PlayAsia exclusive. It's by the people who made Guilty Gear. So, kind of weird that PlayAsia got a physical version of that, not like limited one or something. That's kind of confusing. This is a visual novel I got off PlayAsia. It was on sale. It looked interesting. They're like trapped on an island or something, if I remember correctly. I can't remember. I read like whatever the synopsis was, and it sounded interesting, so I went with it. We got Super Whale and the what are these guys called again? Punium game. That's what it is. Honestly, I have to say I'm not really impressed with the game so far that I've seen with Punium games. So, like the last two releases, I kind of skipped out on. I kind of just bought these for laughs. This one looks like it might be funny for laughs. Maybe. But this other one doesn't really impress me. It's kind of like a platformer kind of game, and that doesn't look like anything too amazing to me. But this Wayne on your play looks like it might be something kind of silly fun or something. That maybe it kind of depends. I'd have to try it. But the next two games I wasn't really too excited about, so I kind of skipped them. So yeah, what we got from Super Whale Games? The Source of Madness. They always have all this thick plastic. I'm not familiar with that one. Now this one I am familiar. Heaven's Dust Collection. So ProJared did a review of these. These are kind of a throwback to old Resident Evil style survival horror. This I'm actually very excited to actually get, because he gave a very high recommendation for these two games. So I'm actually looking forward to playing this. Very high contender for Halloween. And then Hell is Other Demons. I've never heard of this one either. Super Whale Games is just another limited print game company. They're a European company, piggy waiting. So these cost a little bit to get sent to America. But yeah, I'm definitely excited about Heaven's Dust, though. This one, very excited. Very high contender for Halloween. Very high contender. Oh, man, that took forever. Way too much stuff. But I've been meaning to get through that for a good while, then. We're clean. All went through. I'm not even sure if I want to know how many that was. That was a lot of limited one stuff that all came in. Because a lot of the limited one stuff I've been buying as a big of a bulk before its pre-order date, or if it's a limited release. So a lot of them are in groups of like 7 to 9 titles in an order. Very expensive. Also, I don't know if I ever got to show off custom-made plushie of Aisha here. I don't think I have. It's very nice. They did a very nice job. If you've been watching the social media, that when I do the little pictures that I've been using her in the little pictures that so I kind of had her in the background there. I thought it'd be a nice little thing there. Well, tail really makes it kind of hard for her to sit back though. I wanted a nice tail on her, but it does make it hard for her to sit down. That. But anyway, that's all the releases and stuff. So, a quick thing on what's going on. Nothing too different from usual. Been having some 3-hour weeks lately, which has been nice to get some stuff done. Otherwise, I've just been mostly doing most of the normal. Probably the only real thing that's changed is I took over a photo club that I attended in VR, which TK was a part of. but I've been kind of just demoing how to run it. So we were originally going to do a critique night today, but Chatman needed more time. Like, basically he told me he would assist with it still, but he needed a heads up. So, like, I gathered photos about 4 days before and gave them to him, and he said, no, I need more like 2 weeks. And I'm like, oh. Not exactly what I would refer to as a heads up. I'd refer that in a, like, huge time in advance, but that's just me. It's not a big problem, though. I told him just whenever he gets it done, so I kind of made my new schedule on how I want to do that and that, so that's still something I'm getting organized. My bloodborne blood, yeah. Yes. Anyway, but, not too much going crazy. At the end of April, I might be gone. I might be planning a trip to see a friend. That's a personal related thing. But I'm throwing it out there to give the possibility of that. It's not guaranteed to be at the end of April. Oh. Well, I guess cat's out of the bag. That was quick. I try not to. Yeah, I have a friend who's not really been in a very good set of mind, so if that goes, I'll either be leaving near the end of April, or it might get extended outward a little more, but there's a possibility I might fly out to go see him for a week or that. Still talking to his roommate about that, but again, that's a little bit more of a personal matter, not necessarily a, something y'all need to generally know too much about. People like TK know a bit more about it because they know them, so if you know what I mean. Yeah. Nothing against those who aren't in VR chats. Anywho.